Alright. First, motion sickness. Alright, don't ever want to forget that. Let's go ahead and come on over here. Alright, look at this guy, so full of joy, so full of life, so much, rotting flesh. The point is here, is that last time he was much brighter, okay? You can still see the orange. I wanted to make sure that there was still some orange in some various places so that you could be able to tell some of the difference. Now, I did darken the pink here and here, give it more of an in-the-mouth kind of appearance. But you'll notice I added green, and I'm going to give it a little bit of an explanation for what kind of happened there. Alright. So one, I took a color that is about like this, okay? And I covered the larger flesh areas of the model, like so, kind of across here, around the jowl, type areas, some of the large areas. Now I'd be showing you more, like here on the sides, and as you can tell, it kind of looks kind of camo right now, but that's perfectly fine. That could also be my phone, because it doesn't look as camo away from the phone. I'll never understand cameras, but I also used two different color greens. I used a darker one and a lighter one, which kind of helps out with the whole camo thing. But I wanted to make sure I got some green in around the teeth, give the idea that he hasn't brushed for a while. I mean, come on. Guy's drinking whatever's in that mug, whatever's in those, barrel kegs up there, and, popcorn. One thing I do want to point out, I'm not going to make the popcorn look rotted, right? I'm not going to make his drink on the inside look rotted, okay? I want those to look like they're fresh. Because, I mean, come on. The guy looks like he's watching the game. That stuff is gonna be fresh. Okay, so eventually I'll probably hit this with some sort of shiny wash or something like that, and kind of keep the color going. Okay, now, am I done with the flesh? No, but I want you to think about the idea of blending and choosing certain areas, because you'll notice as a part of it flowing in and out of the different colors, how some of the green is darker, some of the green is lighter, and you still have like the little bits of tan, but it's darker. Why is it darker? Well, I used a black wash, so, and I spread it across the model so that the black would get into the recesses and kind of allow the rest of the detail to kind of pop. The reason I'm not done with the flesh is because I still want to add various yellows and reds, maybe add some orange back into other areas, not just like where things didn't get hit for whatever reason, maybe even add a little bit of whites. The idea is to show not just the rotted flesh, but like sickened flesh. Alright, think of pus, boils, rashes, that sort of thing, because I mean, he's a great unclean one, the embodiment of sickness. Alright, sure, he's here to have fun, but still the embodiment of sickness is still what we gotta go for. Alright, now you'll notice I haven't really done anything still with some of the other stuff, because once I get to a certain point with the flesh, the rest of this is going to end up getting painted, alright, to cover in on that. Now, if you'll remember, I'll go ahead and I'll just kind of tip him back towards the back. Really bright on that popcorn. Heck yeah. Alright, hey look, you can actually tell it says 77. Now, I really gotta say, the person who made this file, original file for the printing, absolute glorious detail. I love it. Alright, I couldn't ask for anything more. I don't know that this guy will ever see the field of battle, but eventually he may. But I'm not going to pressure it. This guy's here for the fun. So, but there's some tears that show the flesh on the inside, you know, through the clothing and stuff like that. And you can see, as we get closer, more detail. And this is where like the pus and the boils and stuff come in. Yes, just so you know, I shake much in the same way as your grandfather. So, you know, it happens. Sometimes I try to solve it with caffeine. Sometimes it just doesn't work. That's going to be okay. Now, this is going to be, it may seem a bit disgusting, but we're going to look at his butt right now. Okay? Now you'll notice there's still a hefty amount of orange. There's still that other flesh color from the previous video, even on the lower foot, alright, and around the area. The reason for this is I figured out where the model is going to sit on his giant chair, what pieces you're not going to be able to see, and at that point, you don't need to paint those areas. Like, you may still be able to see a good portion of his back, but you're not going to see down here, alright? And you want that to be like this really good area to put glue. Because when it all comes down to it, it's glue. Now, he's got this large stomach area, but you'll notice that as well, the person who designed the file realized it too, so they made less and less detail when it came to this side of the model, alright? Because even they knew there was going to have to be connection points, okay? But look at those big butt cheeks. Some people say they like big booties. Probably not this one, but, you know. But you'll see I didn't skimp. I went all the way around on the same colors, right? Even got up underneath the arm. You may not necessarily see up underneath the arm, but it makes me feel better to know that I got it, because sometimes light can hit certain areas and cause reflections. As much as you didn't make a model shiny, this is still possible. The reason I can say this is, you know, go stand near, you know, the bright, sunshiny room, say, I don't know, a bathroom, the living room, okay? And you'll notice it's not just shadow that like goes through with the light, okay? Which you can see here. Remember that light can reflect off of things, okay? Just because it's not a mirror doesn't mean it can't reflect, okay? And that's where some of the natural shine comes into the model. And remember, that can always help with your models, the natural shine. But, you know, you could stand next to a white wall and have light hit you, and there's a, you know, depending on how close you are, you could actually see the color of your shirt against the wall. I've seen this with reds and yellows and darker colors. So that's just something to take into account. Now I'm hoping with maybe like the next video to be able to hit up the various kegs and stuff like that, and then maybe, you know, also show you like a little bits of detail around that, maybe do up the teeth, you know, really start to bring this guy to life. Though let's be honest here, he's already full of life. I mean, look at that face. No matter which mouth you're looking at. Kind of makes me wish they'd made like little popcorn bits, but that's fine. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to touch on right now. Again, I still haven't chosen a tube color. There's a good chance I could honestly just go ahead and go with, you know, black and be fine with it, but I probably won't hit up the tube until I've painted the rest of the jersey itself. And again, we're going to do that in Minnesota Vikings because of your grandfather. And let's see here, was there anything else? No, I haven't done anything else with any of the other bits. Painting and blending can take a while. Look into a technique called dry brush, where you get very little paint on the brush itself, alright, to where the brush almost looks dry. and then try like just lightly brushing it across various bits, whether it's like, say, this guy's teeth, or across here, even across his toes. And that can still bring you quite a bit of color, bring in that whole definition, you know. Just give it a shot. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. Of course, like I always say, if you want to see a different model instead of just this big green guy, you know, let me know. Whether it's a Stormcast Eternal, or you want to see a Japanese soldier from World War II, or a tank, you know, you decide, alright? And I'll see what I can do amongst my collection to provide you with, like, what that's going to look like, alright? And if you have a question about a certain color or something, or how to apply it, again, I can show you. I just need to know what you need. Especially if you can't find it. Alright. Well, you have yourself a good day, whether it be at school, at home. Behave for your mom. And whenever you finally get your army done, even if it's just from the basic boxes, alright? We'll see about teaching you how to play the game. When you're ready. There's no need to hurry. Take your time. Alright. Well, I gotta go look on your cousin and make sure he's still covered up. It's kinda cold tonight. So, peace out.